Let me ask you something. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply that when they broke you, a part of you never came back? Maybe it wasn't just the betrayal itself. Maybe it was the way it changed you, quietly, permanently. Psychologists say that some people don't stop trusting because of one painful moment. They stop trusting because their heart learned a terrifying lesson that letting someone close means giving them the power to destroy you again. And maybe you felt that lesson echo through your life, the way you hesitate before opening up, the way you shrink back when someone gets too close, the way you pretend you're fine even when your chest feels heavy. You tell yourself you're protecting your peace, but deep down, you know you're protecting your scars. So if you've ever wondered why you pull back without meaning to, why you push people away, even when you crave connection, or why part of you feels permanently guarded, stay right here, because this video might finally explain the part of you that even you don't fully understand. The part that still hurts, the part that still hides, and the part that still hopes someone will prove that trust wasn't a mistake after all.
Psychologists say that trust doesn't break in one moment. It breaks in layers. And the first layer is shock. The kind of shock where your mind keeps whispering, "This can't be happening, not with them." In this stage, the brain actually struggles to make sense of the betrayal. It replays conversations, reads old messages, scans memories for clues you missed. You don't feel angry yet. You feel confused. Confusion is the mind's way of begging for the world to make sense again. Then comes the second layer, self-blame. And this one hurts the most, because instead of seeing their actions for what they really were, you start wondering if you were too trusting, too open, too easy to hurt. You start questioning your own worth, your own judgment, your own ability to see people clearly. Most people don't realize this, but this is the moment when trust truly cracks. It's not the betrayal itself, it's the moment you decide you can't trust your own heart anymore. And once that happens, every connection after that feels like standing on thin ice. You smile, you talk, you try, but deep down, you're waiting for the ground to break again.
Part of what makes trust so hard to rebuild is that the brain remembers pain far more vividly than it remembers safety. Psychologists call it negativity bias, a survival instinct that makes your mind focus on what hurt you so it can protect you from feeling that way again. So even when someone new comes along, someone kind, gentle, patient, your brain doesn't see them. It only sees the possibility of becoming broken again. It says, don't fall for this, don't open up, don't repeat the same mistake. And because of that, people who once loved deeply often become reserved, distant, or emotionally quiet. Not because they don't care, but because they've learned that caring too much comes with a price. Psychologists even found that after a deep betrayal, some people develop what's called anticipatory defense. It means you start protecting yourself before anything bad even happens, pulling back the moment someone gets too close, ending things before they can end you, hiding your true feelings because vulnerability feels dangerous. You're not avoiding connection because you're cold, you're avoiding connection because your heart is still trying to understand where it's safe to land. And the painful truth, most people around you will never know this battle you're fighting because it's happening silently, inside you, every day.
There's another reason some people never trust again, and it's one that psychologists rarely talk about openly: the fear that healing will make you vulnerable again. Because healing isn't just about moving on. It's about reopening doors you once swore you'd never touch. It's about letting people see the real you, the soft parts, the scared parts, the parts that were once used against you. And that idea alone can feel more terrifying than staying hurt. Some people stay guarded because their trust was not just broken, it was weaponized. Someone took their honesty, their loyalty, their love, and twisted it. So now even simple things like compliments, apologies, or promises feel suspicious. Psychologists call this protective detachment. You detach not because you want to, but because your body learned that emotional closeness equals emotional danger. Your nervous system goes into a quiet kind of panic when something feels too good. You start waiting for the shift, the moment when the tone changes, the message stops coming, the truth reveals itself. And maybe you felt this. The smile that fades too fast, the text you overthink, the silence that makes your stomach drop. The way your mind builds stories that never happened just to prepare you for disappointment. But here's the heartbreaking part. People who can't trust anymore often love the deepest. They just don't know where to place that love safely. They don't want to be alone. They just want to feel protected. And until they feel that again, trust stays locked behind walls they didn't choose to build, but feel forced to live inside.
Psychologists also explain that when trust is broken deeply enough, something else happens, something invisible but powerful. Your identity shifts. You stop seeing yourself as someone who can be loved safely and start seeing yourself as someone who must always stay alert. This isn't a conscious choice. It happens quietly, gradually. You start analyzing every tone of voice, every pause in a conversation, every change in someone's energy. You look for danger in places where there is none, because once you didn't look and you paid the price. Psychologists call this hypervigilance. It's the mind's way of scanning the world for emotional threats the same way the body scans for physical ones. And the sad part is, it makes even genuine love feel suspicious. When someone treats you with real kindness, you think, why? What do they want? What's the catch? But here's where it gets even more complicated. The more guarded you become, the more misunderstood you are. People think you're distant, uninterested, or emotionally unavailable. They don't realize you're doing everything you can just to feel safe. Inside, you're thinking, please don't hurt me. Please don't leave. Please don't be like the others. But on the outside, it comes out as silence, as distance, as hesitation. And the truth that breaks so many people, most don't want to stop trusting. They want one person, just one, who proves their fear wrong. Someone patient enough to stay, gentle enough to understand, consistent enough to feel safe. Because once trust is shattered, it isn't rebuilt with big promises. It's rebuilt with small moments, quiet reassurances, repeated actions, and the feeling that someone is choosing you again and again, even when you're afraid to choose them back.
So if you've lost trust in people, if you've felt yourself shut down, pull back, or go quiet, remember this. Your heart didn't become guarded because you're weak. It became guarded because you were strong for too long with the wrong people. Psychologists say trust doesn't return all at once. It returns slowly, the same way the sun rises after a long night. Not in a sudden burst, but in gentle steps. A little warmth here, a little light there. A moment where you feel safe again without even noticing. And maybe your story isn't about giving trust back to everyone. Maybe it's about giving it back to yourself first. Believing that you deserve relationships where your heart doesn't have to flinch. Believing that safety is possible again. Believing that someone out there will treat your trust like something precious, not something